Hello and welcome to Teleislas News with the most important news of the day.
The Corporation for the Sustainable Development of the Archipelago Coralina announced that they are carrying out controlled hunting of an invasive species in the department. This is the note.
The controlled hunting of the invasive bird Maria mulata began last June 1st and is of vital importance since it's an omnivorous bird and it preys on resident and endemic species of our islands, affecting biodiversity.
El cuiscal los mexicanos.
It is not a bird that belongs to our local fauna. It is not endemic. Therefore, it was introduced from the interior of the country, especially from the Atlantic coast, where it generally lives. And this bird does not have an exclusive diet. That is to say, it feeds on a variety of things that can be from vegetables to animal components. Therefore, it preys on endemic species of fauna, both in birds and reptiles, such as the blue lizard, which is currently threatened.
For these days of hunting, Coralina has the support of the Boyaca Target Field Club Sports Club, a non-profit entity recognized by the Institute of Youth, Sports, Recreation, Leisure, and Extracurricular Education of Tunja. The hunting days will end on June 5th of this year and are taking place in the following places: Old Point, Battalion, Salt Creek, and Zone Bay.
Here is an updated report of COVID-19. 91 new cases are added to the department and one person died, according to the national report of the National Health Institute.
One more person is added to the number of deaths from COVID-19 in the department, giving a total of 105 deaths. There are 91 new infections that were registered today, totaling 272 active cases in the archipelago. According to the last report on how vaccination is going on the archipelago department, 80,080 vaccines have been applied. It is also important to mention that the country has received a new batch of vaccine, 909,600 from the AstraZeneca laboratory and 539,370 from Pfizer. Regarding the vaccines from the AstraZeneca laboratory, the Minister of Health explained that this new batch of vaccine arrived on the country thanks to the COVAX mechanism, through which the country acquired vaccine for 10% of the population. It also pointed out that this vaccine will be used in second doses for those who have already received the vaccine from the laboratory and for the reinforcement of vaccination in municipalities other than capital and metropolitan areas. With the arrival of 539,370 doses from Pfizer reached through the bilateral agreement with this laboratory, Colombia has 60,227,214 doses in the territory. About this new batch, it was indicated that they will be destined to continue with the execution of Stage 3 of the National Vaccination Plan against COVID-19, which has at least 9.5 million people.
And with the participation of the Ministry of the Interior, the Secretariat of Government, and the Ombudsman's Office, the first pilot workshop was held to profile social organizations on the island. With this, the government wants to guarantee that it will verify if there is a violation of the human rights of the island's population. The coordinator of Human Rights and Citizen Participation expanded on this information.
We had a meeting at the CS building on the Hill with the Ministry of the Interior, since we are working with a pilot plan with social organizations in the department, with the intention of empowering these organizations, providing them with strategies, and working with them.
The official explained that this pilot plan for organizations is the beginning of a macro plan of the Ministry of the Interior.
This pilot plan is the beginning of a macro plan of the Ministry of the Interior, and little by little we will extend the invitation to the other social organizations of our department. For the moment, we are doing the first test, since it was a topic that was not handled in the Secretariat of Government for a long time.
The general objective of the pilot test with the social organizations is to make a diagnosis of them, among which are the Afro, racial, religious, communal, and youth organizations, in order to determine the needs of each social group and thus carry out productive projects that benefit them.
Tourism continues to recover gradually. The department reports an increase in the flow of visitors for the month of May, which represents a positive outlook for the island economy.
The main economic line of the archipelago, tourism, continues to recover gradually. During the past month of May, there was an increase on the visitors in the department, this according to data from the departmental government. Although currently the country is going through its third peak in terms of contagion by COVID-19, the archipelago is consolidated as one of the favorite destinations for vacation. The head of the tourism office delivered a report on the occupation in tourism, as well as a detail of the preparation of the island for the Anato Tourism Fair.
Well, first of all, I have the pleasure to tell to all the community of the island of San Andres and Providence and St. Catalina that we receive 32,000 persons on the first 15 days of the month of May. According to this, we fulfill the statistic we are bringing from the first trimester of the year.
The Secretary of Tourism emphasized that it is important for the department that the number of tourists entering the country is manageable so that the authorities can verify that all the biosecurity protocols are being followed, a task that the departmental government is carrying out through the inspection of hotels, inns, and hostels.
And with enthusiasm and eagerness to learn, the students of the Bomboná school returned to the educational institutions, making use of the temporary classrooms.
With the message, "Welcome to our school," the students of Bomboná school resumed their educational process in the temporary classrooms and are very grateful with the Ministry of Education for the changes.
I want to share with you that we are in the new classrooms. The children are very happy because we were in tents and the tents were very hot. The 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders now have their classrooms. The Ministry of Education complied with us and we want to thank them.
The director thanked each one of the persons who supported the process to make it possible to obtain the institution's classrooms that she described as fresh and very nice.
Los niños me comentan, maestra, estamos contentos. El salón.
The children tell me, "Teacher, we are very happy. The classroom feels like it has air conditioning. It is very nice. We are not going to feel hot anymore." So the welcome was excellent. At school, we are very attentive to carry out the biosafety protocols so that the children don't get the virus. They take care of themselves and we take care of ourselves, trying to protect everyone.
Crystal Robinson, a student, says that her classmates could not concentrate in the tents due to the heat, but now they're doing their homework.
When we see the carpa, every day here in the carpa, and now it's along them cool and them pretty. You got your bathroom, you got a place to wash your hand, you got toilet paper in there, and everything they good and it's salon moderno. And you don't feel not a heat in there. Thanks.
The classrooms for other institutions are scheduled for after the return of vacations. The temporary classrooms will be in use until the construction of the definitive schools.
And during the comprehensive report session held yesterday in the House of Representatives, the resignation of the president of FONTUR, Raquel Garavito, was announced, a situation that worries since she was in charge of the reconstruction of the tourist establishments of the municipality.
Yesterday, during the report session cited by the Human Rights Commission of the House of Representatives, the resignation of Raquel Garavito, president of FONTUR, was made known on the islands. The situation is of concern because FONTUR is in charge of the reconstruction of tourist establishments in the municipality.
FONTUR has been assigned the construction and contracting of all the lodges and hotels in the municipality of Old Providence, and to date, it has not complied with it. And if we had had the inns already repaired, we would have the opportunity to move people from those tents to those rooms already repaired. But we don't know what they have done with those resources, and that's why I would like them to be here.
Many of native lodges are rooms inside the houses of islanders. These houses would not be included in the list of those to be rebuilt by FINDETER. The delays in rebuilding these tourist establishments have left some families without homes.
If FONTUR is not present, a representative of the Ministry of Industry, Commerce and Tourism should have been present because it is their responsibility. They cannot wash their hands in this way with the people of Old Providence. They are owners of lodges that have opted to rebuild with their own resources when there is a commitment from the government because they are paying the taxes that correspond to FONTUR.
In Old Providence, FONTUR is in charge of the management of 156 tourist establishments, 114 of which are lodges.
This is a breaking news. In the last hours, the Attorney General's office seized the aircraft that arrived to Providence with about half a ton of cocaine and $102 million in cash. The Special Agency for the Expiration of Ownership Rights made the announcement.
Para la Fiscalía, en este caso, se cumple una de las causales.
For the prosecutor's office, in this case, one of the grounds in the Code of Extension of Ownership is met, specifically contained in paragraph 5, which stipulates that the ownership of assets that have been used as a means of instrument for the execution of illicit activities will be the clear extent. The aircraft was delivered to the Special Asset Society for its administration.
Hello, here are the best sports of the island. A handball club leader side continues its preparation for future competitions. At the Pink Coliseum courts, and with the help of Professor Liderson Jaraba, the Leader Side Club continues its preparation of floor handball with a view for future national competitions. This is what Professor Jaraba told us.
The Leaders Side Handball Club is constantly preparing, as you have seen, to meet the competitions they have at the national level, either at selection level or at club level. For that we are preparing. There is a tournament in the month of June from the 11th until the 13th, if I am not wrong, in the city of Tunja, Boyacá. I do not know if it would be possible for us to go and participate in that tournament since the floor handball tournament is being held in enclosed outdoor venues and the Ministry of Health is not allowing it. We are preparing ourselves day by day to be ready so that we won't be caught by surprise when we are called to compete. That's why we are preparing ourselves physically and psychologically.
The continuity in the preparation of the athletes is extremely necessary to reach the optimum level of competition as stated by Professor Jaraba. The participation of the Islanders in the Colombian baseball team that participate in the pre-Olympics in Florida were not enough. With the participation of 3 players from San Andres, the Colombian baseball team was looking for its berth to the next Olympic Games in Tokyo. But with 3 consecutive defeats, the dream went up in smoke. Colombia was eliminated. The 3 players from San Andres participated in the games were Jeter Downs, shortstop, Jerry Downs, first base, Derwin Pomier, pinch hitter, and outfielder. In the first game, Colombia lost against Canada 7-0. In a perfect game for the Canadians with a no-hit, no-run. In the second game, Colombia faced Venezuela in a game that ended 3-2 in favor of the Venezuelans. In the third game, Colombia lost to Cuba 16-3 in a shameful game to say goodbye to the dreams of being able to go to the next Olympic Games. We spoke to Coach Brown, who gave his opinion.
They shot at practice. I shot some practice game. That could have hit them, but they can't know over now. What I like, they call the 3 Islanders player. If on my part, I should call Steve Brown and Tito Polo to try to hit the team more. Well, they improved too much. They don't put Derwin play outfield, Derwin at outfield. Brian Perez, right field and outfield. But what happening now is they're not qualified to the Olympic Games.
This is Jaden Steele's opinion.
For me, it's very important that Colombia selection call the 3 Islanders player. But sorry, and lastly, I say we're not classified to the Olympic.
We continue to work with our Islanders to provide better performance in upcoming competitions, as said by Brown.